and I'm going to be talking to you guys about my experience with my last child, with like the hospital and my C-section, and what I used and what I wish I would have gotten when I brought her home. I wish I would have gotten it sooner. What else? Just all kinds of stuff. I'm thinking about making it, not thinking, I'm gonna make it into a series. So today, I wanted to talk about breastfeeding. So when I started, okay, let me go back. When I had my first daughter, I was 16 when I had her, and I tried really hard to get her to latch onto me, and I couldn't. I spent hours with the lactation consultant, and her and I tried to get her to latch, and she just would not latch. Now, this was 11 years ago, so we didn't have the stuff that we have now. So, with this next child that I had, I am 28 now, and I am a lot more mature, first of all, and I did a lot of research, and I wanted to breastfeed. I wanted to do it so bad, and I tried really hard, and I did a lot of research. I talked to a lot of people like WIC, because they have like breastfeeding consultants there, and they help you through the way. Normally what they would do, if you had any problems, you can make an appointment and they can help you, but since the stupid COVID, I haven't seen them since I was like 6 months pregnant. So anyways, let's get back to it. So with my last child, because it says my last, unfortunately, but so with my last child, no. So with my last hospital visit, as soon as I got out of my surgery, because I had a C-section, as soon as I got out, they put you in this in this room until you get to your room. What they do is they put you in there and they make sure that your vitals are good. They make sure that the baby's good. They do the pricking on the foot for blood and stuff, and give them the shot, and you're just there for, I think I was there for maybe about an hour before they wheeled me into my my room. And during that time, what I did is as soon as I could get up, and okay, so when you have a C-section, you are numb from right here. Sorry, I got pain right here. So you're numb from here down. You can't feel anything. Well, you can feel it. You can feel someone touching you, but you can't feel pain. What it feels like is it feels kind of like weights are pushing down on you, and you just don't have any control of that. So I tried, and I asked the nurses if they could please help me get up. So they folded the thing up, and I was using my arms, and I pushed up because I wanted to try to breastfeed. So I got up as much as I could, and I put her on my boob, and she latched right away, which I was so happy about. I was literally crying because I was so proud of myself and so happy that I did it. And it was just wonderful. I'm starting to tear up. Anyways, it was wonderful, and I just loved it. But when I got to the room and I started breastfeeding her even more, I had problems getting her to latch again sometimes. And another thing that was happening is that my colostrum wasn't really there. I feel like with my first daughter, my colostrum was there, and I could tell, I could pump it, and because I couldn't get her to latch, so I would pump it, and I would just feed it through I would just feed it to her through a bottle. But this time I tried to pump it, and I spent like, she said every hour spend 20 minutes pumping, or every 2 hours, one of the two, to try to get it to go. It wouldn't come out. So what I did was, the very first night that I had her, I woke up every hour and a half, put her on my boob, and I used this thing that my lactation consultant gave me. What she thought my problem was is because I have big boobs. I've always had big boobs, just how I was built. Even when I was 145 pounds, I had big boobs for my weight. So my boobs are big. So when that normally happens is when your boobs are big, your nipples are short. So instead of them being long, they're more like tucked away, like hidden. So it takes a while for them to pop out. And so what she did is she gave me this shield. And she gave this to me, and you can buy it at the store. I've seen them at Walmart and also Meijer's. Those are really the only two big grocery stores we have. We have Kroger's too, but they don't have a big selection of baby stuff. So you get it. My lactation consultant gave this to me, and you also can get it from those stores. And what you do is, well, hold on a second. See, you can see that it's like, it's an extension of your nipple. And what you do is you go like this. You put it on your boob, and then you go like this for your nipple, and it kind of like sucks. This is silicone, and it kind of like sucks on. And then you take it up here to the baby's mouth. You can go like this. And then it kind of tickles their mouth, and it tells them, hey, I need to open my mouth. So they open their mouth, and when you put it on, you put it up like this, and like in their mouth like this. And then they close their mouth when you put it in, and then they suck. And what it does is like they suck. This is like a nipple extension. So I did that. And for the first night, when I was trying to breastfeed her every hour and a half, I would start with that first, and then then on my other side, I would just do my like I didn't have my shield on. And how I was able to do that is I had some formula, and I had like this little bitty dropper. Let me go. Gave me this. Now this is CVS because my daughter is on medication. But they gave me one like this, and I went ahead and sipped some formula. And whenever I had her on my breast, I would just put a little bit of formula in the corner of her mouth. Excuse me. And then what it would do is it gave her the taste of milk. So that was like, she was thinking, okay, I need to suck to get more milk out. So that's what she did. And I believe she got milk out. So because I did that for like the first day and a half, but then I would feed her formula every once in a while. So I would do that for the first night, I breastfed her every hour and a half for 20 minutes. And I did that, and I kept doing that, and then she would go to sleep. And it was very exhausting. I was extremely tired, but I think my adrenaline was rushing so much because I wanted to breastfeed so bad. And I was so excited that I finally had my little baby that I've been wanting for a long time. I finally had her. And I was just excited that I was in the hospital with my husband, and because with my first one, my significant other wasn't there. So I was just excited about that. I was just excited about everything. So I think a lot of it had to do with the first night, my adrenaline rushing. I got hardly no sleep. And then the second night, I did every 2 hours I would breastfeed. And then after I got done breastfeeding, then I would give her a little bit of formula, I think maybe an ounce And yeah, now when I got home, I was pumping and breastfeeding, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie, breastfeeding is amazing and I loved it, but I also hated it at the exact same time, because it is so hard. Plus I had a C-section, and it's so hard because you have pain from the C-section, and you have to get up, and it hurts to get up because everything in your abdomen is sore from them pulling on it and all this other stuff. Sorry. And so you're exhausted. Your body is recovering. So that's another reason why you're exhausted, is because your body's working hard to heal you. And you're also breastfeeding, and that makes your body work even harder. And plus, my baby was up she woke up every 4 hours to eat. And I was very, very, very lucky that I had that. She woke up every 4 hours since she got home. And I breastfed her, and my milk finally came in after 8 days of her being born. And I breastfed her for 2.5 months. And I'll explain why I had to stop here in a little bit. But anyways, so this right here, I think if you have big boobs, is a must-have. Even if you don't have big boobs, maybe buying it or asking your lactation consultant if you can have one, just in case you need it. Just in case whenever your milk does fully get there and your boobs are huge, because your boobs do get big when they first get there. And they get there and your nipples are too short. And your insurance will pay for this. So ask if you can have one, because this right here is almost $20 at the store. Ridiculous. So I would ask if you could. I know that my insurance paid for it. So I would ask. The next thing that I recommend is, I don't have one with me, is to get a breast pump. But I think the best breast pump out there right now is the Medea, I think that's how you say it. It starts with an M. I had one that my insurance sent me, and it is crap. Like, it works okay, but the suction is crap. And I had big boobs, so, and the cup that they gave me was like so small. Like, when I would be pumping, I had milk pouring out of the side of my tummy, because my cup was so bad. So I called Wick and I said, hey, I remember whenever I was pregnant, you said that you would rent me out a breast pump. And they said yes. And I went there, I got it, and it was wonderful. I absolutely loved it. And then when I stopped breastfeeding, I actually had to give it back, which, yeah, of course, but that's different. I'll explain that here in a little bit. So the next thing that I absolutely recommend are breast pads. Now, I did not get the throwaway breast pads because I wanted to save on waste, and I think that these reusable breast pads are wonderful. They look like this. Now, I use these a lot, so they look like this, and they come in a little cute bag like this. And I will put a link down below in the description. I think they're like $20, and you get one, two, yeah, you get 8 of these. Now so when I got it, I got one to start out with to see if I liked them. And I liked them so much that I told my husband I need more, because I was going through these in the beginning like crazy. Like I think I had to wash these every other day or so. So so I bought another one, and it lasted me a little bit longer, and if I would have continued breastfeeding, I probably would have bought a third one. But I think that's also a must-have. The other must-have is make sure you have a lot of clothes that you can breastfeed out of. For the first maybe month or two, month and a half, I was strictly in nightgowns. And the nightgowns that I had were like the spaghetti strap nightgowns that had like the V went all the way down, because all I had to do was pop out my boob and go from there. And I have a, slip cover to hide when my kids were there, but I came to like a realization that they need to know that breastfeeding is completely normal. They need to know not to be, shy about it. Especially my son, like breastfeeding is completely normal. You shouldn't be awkward around somebody when they're doing it, because that's what God gave you boobs for. They gave it to you to nurture your children. And I think a lot of people, like when I was growing up, we didn't do that at all. Like whenever somebody was breastfeeding, it was like their thing. They had to do it behind closed doors. Like it was like, they made it act like it was like the worst thing ever, but it's not. Like it's the best thing ever. And so I just was like, to hell with it. They can't. I would like them to know more about this and not be, shy about it than to be shy about it. And when my son gets married and he has children and his wife wants to breastfeed, he's not going to be like, you know what I mean? Or like if he's out in a restaurant and he sees someone's breastfeeding, he's just gonna go like this and like not talk to them, you know what I mean? Or like talk to them but like not talk to them. Just act normal. And my daughter, she has another dad, and well, her biological dad. She's got two dads, one stepdad, one biological dad. And her stepmom has two other children, and she breastfed both of them, so she's used to it. But my son, this was his first actual real sibling, so everything is new to him, and he's 7 now. But yeah, so those are my two things that are like a must-have, I think. Now I guess since I was kind of talking about it, I had to stop breastfeeding when my daughter was 2.5 months old. And the reason why is because she had GERD. Well, she still does have GERD. And what would happen is that I would breastfeed her, and then an hour, maybe 30 minutes later, she would bawl her eyes out, cry and cry and cry, like she was in pain. And I thought that, in my gut feeling, I knew that I had to put her on formula eventually when I noticed that. But I tried everything that the doctor told me to. I tried to put her in a different position. I tried to pump and then pump a little bit to get all that, extra flow out. And then I went ahead and breastfed her. I did literally everything, and nothing was working. And in my gut feeling, I just knew I had to put her on formula. So I put her on formula. And then also I knew, because my first child, she had the same thing, but hers was a lot worse. She actually was spitting everything up to the point where she was not gaining weight. She was actually losing weight. Now with this one, she lost weight the first week, but then after that, then she started gaining back weight again once my breast milk came in. But anyways, but my daughter was in a lot of pain after I breastfed her. She would arch her back, scream at the top of her lungs. She would spit stuff up almost right after I gave or breastfed her. And it wasn't like, the normal spit up. It was like projectile spit up. And she actually vomited a lot. It wasn't spit up, it was actual vomit. And sometimes what would happen is when she vomited, it vomited also through her nose, and she was choking and she couldn't breathe for a little bit. So I freaked out, and I got the little thing and like went shh, you know, and get everything out, and she was freaking out, I was freaking out, and I was crying and she was crying because, you know, she couldn't breathe. And so that happened a lot. And also what happened is she also I would put her down and she would spit up, and when she spit up, it went up her nose, and she also choked on that. That happened, I think, like the third or fourth day. No, because she didn't have any problems until 2 weeks after she was born. So I think that happened maybe like week 2 or something, when she did that, and that freaked me out. So that's why I had to stop breastfeeding. Unfortunately, she's now on Nutramigen formula. At first, my husband and I hated the smell, but now we're like, we just are used to it, and it doesn't really smell to us anymore. So if you ever have to put your child on Nutramigen, it stinks at first. The spit up also stinks at first, but I promise you, give it about a couple weeks and you will get used to it. Maybe it took my husband a month or 2 to get used to it, but he got used to it. Now he doesn't care. And I also had to give her rice cereal too with her formula eventually. That also helped. But yeah, so that is my story / recommendations on breastfeeding stuff. I'm going to do a series. I'm going to do some more about GERD and things that I wish I would have had before I had her, all kinds of other stuff. So stay tuned, and I hope you guys have a rest of your day, and thanks for stopping by. This is my first YouTube actual video that I'm doing, so hopefully I did good, and if I didn't do good, I'm sorry. But just bear with me. I'm learning all of this stuff, and yeah, so I'm going to be posting once a week for now. Once I get better at it and get more content in my phone, then I'll be posting more. But right now, I have a newborn baby and 2 other children, so I'm just going to make a commitment of once a week. So I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye!